Alright, hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's Rob here at Smirking Gun Reviews. We're back with more Daredevil Season 3. We're up to Episode 5. It is called The Perfect Game. So full spoilers if you haven't seen the episode. So let's just jump into this. So Matt's not really in this episode except for the very end. This is a lot of our ancillary characters and side characters and old Dex here, little bullseye. So let's just jump right in. So Karen finds Felix. Now I have to apologize. I thought Felix was one of the lawyers. Turns out Felix is a fixer. And Karen thinks that she's kind of got the upper hand on this guy, or at least got him over a barrel with what she's going to put out as a story. Turns out this guy's not afraid at all, because this guy, he says he's not a fixer, he just makes problems go away. And in Karen's case, it's basically listing off the details of her life and where everybody that she cares about lives. So she leaves, and this is where the FBI picks her up. But she almost gets herself killed because she thinks she's being followed by people hired by Fisk. So they take her into Matt's apartment, where they find that his wet clothes there. You know, Fisk tried to have him killed. And this is at that point, basically, at the beginning of this, where Fisk tells the FBI that Matt Murdock is a crooked lawyer and has them all looking for him. And that's going to be, I guess, our big Season 3 plot. And it's been done in the comics, and it's fine. And it's going to be one of those seasons of, oh boy, our hero on the run, our good guys on the run, the bad guy in control kind of seasons. And that's, I don't know. I guess it was a long, it's 3 seasons in the making. Hopefully, if there is a 4th season, I'm glad we're getting this plot over with. Because one of these, like, if they keep going with the show, and I hope they do, I want to just see a normal ass season where it's just like last season a little bit, like Daredevil versus the Punisher, and I like that a lot. And Daredevil and Elektra versus the Hand. That was season 2 was really fun. This is a lot less. It's entertaining. It's just not fun. It's, you know what I mean? When your heroes are all, it's like, okay, if you're a Walking Dead fan, how did you feel about Walking Dead season 7? Where the heroes are just getting stomped all over the place by the bad guys. Negan is just walking all over them. Right? How'd you feel? You watched it, right? And you liked it. Oh, just, but you weren't having fun, were you? That's the same kind of thing in this kind of storyline, where the villain is basically, got everybody against the hero. And that's what we're setting up here. So the FBI has Karen, and the guy, they want to know everything about her and Matt's relationship, and she's trying to tell them, and she does. Okay, so the thing that I wanted her to do, she does finally, except, she had to wait for him to kind of put her in the corner, and before she finally tells him about Fisk owning the place where they got him. Problem is, he doesn't really take it seriously. Now, even if he doesn't believe it, it's a credible threat. It's something that they better check out. So at least, yes, she has put it out there, so I can stop complaining about that. And her posting the questions of these companies that Fisk really runs. The thing is, you'd think that the FBI would know some of this. They are the FBI. There is an I. What's the I for in FBI? Investigation. So, you'd think that they would have some insight into Fisk's, holdings there already. And then they go after Foggy, and they try to, intimidate him and ask him basically the same questions, and trying to get him to, admit to certain things, and it's not working really. It's also, but the only thing that's really working is them kind of putting a little bit of doubt in Matt. But what really comes out of the Foggy and Karen storyline here is what Karen's worried about, and that's that they bring up Wesley, one of the best characters. Okay, so spoilers. I mean, if you're watching this and you haven't seen season 1, shame on you. But in season 1, Karen blows Wesley away. And I hated it and I loved it. Because it was just so cool that she just blows him away. Like, kind of surprisingly. You know, like, you didn't really think they were going to do it. And Wesley was a great bad guy. I mean, Kingpin is bad enough. Wesley had a different, like, he was pretty bad too. And I kind of hate that he's not on the show anymore. Because that actor was killing it. I think he's on Billions with Paul Giamatti and the guy from Homeland. But anyway, so she killed him and nobody really knows about it. Well, they bring up his picture and Karen's kind of in freak out mode because if they dig, they might find out that she killed him. Now, let's just get to the weird part, like the most interesting part, and just really weird, but cool at the same time. So at the very beginning of this episode, we see Bullseye. I'm just going to start calling him Bullseye because that's where we know where he's headed. I love that. That he was like an operator at a suicide prevention place. What I love is that picture. And the first thing I thought of was how he's on the outside of the group. He's there, but he's not there. He's on the fringes of it, you know, like always a little on the outside. Then when he closes the door, the picture frame goes like this, saying, so not only is he, you know, on the outside, but now it's like a little off. Kind of, it's a little bit on the nose, the way that everything is framed up, but then I love how he opens the door and like fixes it, saying that he's trying to fix being off and to the side. Kind of interesting. I like that little image. So in this, Fisk gets everything he needs on this Poindexter guy that will become Bullseye. And they tell Bullseye's backstory in a very interesting way. And at first I was just like, I was waiting to see if they was going to get really weird. But it didn't. I thought for a second when Fisk is sitting next to the kid, sitting next to young Bullseye, I thought, oh my God, he's going to talk to him, isn't he? And I was going to, and I'm so glad he didn't, but it really looked like he was going to start talking to him. Because it's not even happening. This is all just Fisk using what he has in front of him, making and using his imagination to recreate the events of Bullseye's life. And they do it in black and white, and that's cool. But really, I really was worried that they were going to go like really off the rails in this scene. And some of it has to be, you know, kind of inaccurate because you can't, like the whole thing with his coach, that can't be in a transcript, you know, like he can't know exactly how things went down. But that's a small detail that I can overlook. I mean, it was cool, the baseball bouncing off and hitting him. Also the fact that he said he did it on purpose. I don't know if he knew back then that he could throw a ball like at a thing and hit the guy. I don't know if he, you know, like I guess we're supposed to believe that he knew about his ability to be that good at what Bullseye does, which is not miss. He's kind of like Hawkeye without, he doesn't need arrows though. He just, anything he throws, he hits you with deadly accuracy. So, I mean, there's a little things that you gotta have to overlook and just turn your brain off a little bit for it. But seeing how he was pretty much a psycho from the beginning, yeah, he lost his parents, but you know what? A lot of people lose their parents and don't go psycho, so whatever. You know, this one did. This kid did. And I do like how they show how accurate he was and everything, and it's just showing him building and learning. Kind of like, what's cool about Bullseye as a villain is he's kind of a little like Daredevil in that it's not really a supernatural ability. It's kind of like his Daredevil's senses are heightened because of his blindness and a little bit, you know, because of whatever the chemicals and stuff, whatever happened to him, I think. But he's not like superhuman, you know. And neither is Bullseye. They're just both kind of guys that took a, you know, like Matt took like a handicap and made it work for him, and Bullseye is just a guy who practiced and learned to be really good at what he does. And it took Matt a long time to get good at what he does too. So it's like hero villain, not that much different in how they're like, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm getting a little I'm getting a little off track, I think. So we see, him like encouraging people to try to commit suicide, and he blames everybody for leaving him. He likes anybody that's letting him down. The coach wasn't going to let him pitch the perfect game, and the coach trying to tell him, you're pitching a perfect game isn't going to bring your parents back. They left you. Sorry. So he tells the kid that his parents weren't coming back, so he kills his coach. Then his psychiatrist that he, supposedly liked, which I don't think he really did. I think all this is just mimicking, parroting. She tells him to say, nice things, and he just kind of mimics it back. I don't think he really believes anything he's saying. I think he just says it so that people will shut up and leave him alone. But then he wants to kill her for leaving him. He's always just, it's all about me. He's a little selfish brat. He's a little psycho. And I mean, maybe it's a little too harsh, but whatever. That's just how I feel. Bullseye's crazy, dude. You should see it if you read the comics right now. I mean, Bullseye is fucking bananas. To varying degrees, and depending on what comic like you read, I think though too, and what version of it. And then, he gets on to the suicide prevention and starts encouraging people to, well, don't kill yourself. Kill the person that, is making you feel bad. And I'm like trying to think to myself, how did this guy make it on the FBI? He didn't have Wilson Fisk as a buddy back then, so how did he hide his psychiatric records from the FBI? Who, I mean, the psych evaluations for the FBI have to be pretty hardcore. And I mean, I don't know how this guy could, I guess the mimicking thing and learning from a psychiatrist to just tell people what they want to hear. But I don't know if they'd be fooled by that. I mean, wouldn't they have trained people to be able to read people that are trying to fake you out in the psych test? Again, I guess I'm supposed to turn my brain off on that. But we just see, he tries to reach out to the girl that he likes, that he's stalking. So this isn't going to end well. And he's probably, by the end of this episode, when he throws the knife into the pitcher that hits her, I imagine that she's probably not long for this world. Hopefully somebody gets to her, a certain Daredevil. But he doesn't know. I don't know, that's down the road. But you can see where Fisk is going with this and is why he wants this. So, and you can also tell where it's going to go later. If you've watched the trailer and that Bullseye puts on the Daredevil costume and that Fisk wants to use now he's got the cops after, he's got the FBI after Matt Murdock. And then to get people off of his back, now he's going to have Bullseye, eventually here putting on the Daredevil costume and killing people so that they have a new villain to distract them from what's going on with Fisk. And it's all pretty brilliant from a villain standpoint. It's really tough as a fan of Daredevil to watch your hero just keep getting stomped on in this season. And I think that's where we're headed, is a lot of misery for Matt. And I just feel bad, damn it, didn't he just, how much, the whole Defenders thing and him just dying, and now that he's back and he is just already just buried in shit. But I mean, Kingpin said, once I get out, it's going to happen. So like I said, this better not be the last season. And I hope they don't wait so long between seasons, if there is another one, because I want to see another fun season like the Punisher Elektra season of season 2. And I know I'm only on episode 5, but I got a feeling we're going to see some I know there's going to be some pretty cool stuff, but I think we're in for a bit of a slog if you're waiting for the heroes to just kick ass. So anyway, that's it for this episode. I'm sure I might have missed a couple of things, but oh well. So anyway, if you liked this video, please hit the like button, comment, share, subscribe, bell, all of it. Otherwise, this is Rob at Smirking Gun Review saying we will see you on Daredevil episode 6, probably not too long from now, and have a great night.